Storm Team 44 meteorologist Gunnar Consol has his eye on the weekend as he's tracking chances for storms. Gunnar, what can we expect?
Yeah, well, fortunately, the potential for those storms aren't going to be impacting too much of the weekend. It's actually going to be happening here soon. So that severe weather alert is in effect for tonight between 1 and 4 a.m. So we'll be sound asleep then. There is a small potential for maybe some hail, a tornado or two, and some strong winds. But as we head into the tri-state, we're looking at things looking mighty toasty out there for February. It is a muggy, warm, and cloudy afternoon. So the fact that we've reached the 60s with minimal sunlight, you can see the sun trying to poke through here, just proves just how much of a warm and humid air mass that we are dealing with. And when a cold front sweeps through the Midwest, when we have this kind of warm, muggy air, which is typically over us in April, that's when we get that severe weather threat. Now, we are going to be seeing conditions a little bit more stormy throughout the night. This is kind of the quiet time as we head throughout the evening. So we are going to enjoy a relatively dry and relatively warm evening ahead. Temperatures, they are roasting for February standards. We're in the mid-60s, 66 degrees right now in Evansville. And as we turn our attention towards the evening, at least that evening commute, not going to have too many issues. We're going to continue to see those temperatures very, very warm, even into the night. I can't believe it. It's going to be 7 p.m. in February, and we'll still be in the 60s. And we are going to be dealing with severe weather threats. Now, it's no surprise that with temperatures this warm, when that cold air is going to return, it almost always ends in severe weather. So we fortunately are going to endure a very minimal severe weather threat, just a marginal. And you can see here that that green area indicates the lightest. So that's a 1 out of 5 on our threat index. So fortunately, not too big of a threat, helping us ease into the severe weather season now that we are approaching spring. An isolated tornado has about a 2% likelihood of occurring. Large hail, about 5%. High winds, about 5% as well. So you can see that the likelihood is very low, but any likelihood compared to nothing is still infinitely higher, especially since we haven't really been talking about severe weather for months on end. Here in the tri-state, we are no stranger to severe weather, so since it's been so long, we got to get back in the groove of things. And we also have the potential for some localized flooding as well. Now, looking at the future cast, tonight around 10 p.m. into the overnight, it is no surprise that there is the potential for some storms. You can see some heavy rain moving through the north around midnight into 1 a.m. So a lot of us may get a quick awakening tomorrow morning, really, really early in the morning. And those heavy rains look to be pushing through around 2, 3 a.m. as well. And we are going to be enduring things wrapping up right around the time some of those early risers on the weekend start waking up. So 6 is when we expect things to be a little bit clearer. But like I said, here's that potential for some of that heavier rains and the potential for some localized flooding. I think that if anything, this may be the biggest threat because it is the one that's most likely to happen. Winds and tornadoes are hard to predict, but rainfall is actually somewhat easy to predict. And you can see that swath going through the middle to north of the tri-state. Now, in the next 7 days, we fortunately aren't going to be dealing with too much active weather after Monday. Valentine's Day looking a little toasty for February standards.